This is the new Horizon 20 Max, and there are different variations of this. However, this is like their top of the line model. It has some amazing features. All of this series comes standard with Dolby Vision and HDR10 Plus. This one has 1 millisecond of input lag. Really interested to see how that plays out when we hook up a PlayStation. All of these also have lens shifting and optical zoom, meaning once it's projected, you can shift it and mechanically it will shift the projection. So you actually have quite a bit of leeway in terms of like where your image is. I've tried this out in my bedroom and it worked magnificently. We're gonna try the same thing, but downstairs. I will say, because I've already unboxed this, I have it right here. This thing is awesome. This case reminds me of like what you get when you buy like a really nice light from like Amaran or like Aperture. Yeah, take notes, y'all, take notes. Projector in here, you have the power supply here. It comes with this amazing, really high quality remote. And this gives you the shortcuts to Netflix and YouTube and Prime Video. So this is really helpful, really useful, and it's a universal remote. I had my Apple TV plugged in upstairs and it can control the Apple TV no problem. One thing that I didn't realize is not only is it 1 millisecond of input lag, but it also has variable refresh rate, which is great for whatever type of content you're trying to display. It can go up to 240 hertz. This model specifically goes up to 5700 ISO lumens, which is just bonkers. My previous projector, this is what I was using beforehand. 4K 30 hertz. I'm gonna tell you right now, this thing was not pushing 4K at all. Oh, one other thing I've realized when using this in particular is that it's actually so quiet. I've had it right next to like my head and I barely hear it. I don't get any hot air being dispersed onto me. And when you're running projectors, heat output is actually a huge factor. So I don't know how they did it with this, but the cooling and how they do the cooling is phenomenal. Another positive bonus of having VRR for a projector is that it actually allows you to reduce input lag, which again leads to how they can achieve 1 millisecond input lag. We'll see how that feels, honestly, when it comes to testing, because we're playing like a FPS. Really excited to see how this performs with gaming. I know with content, it's already fantastic. Look at this. Look how pretty this is. Are you kidding me? This is a projector. This is beautiful. On the back, we have all the ports that we need. We've got 2 HDMI, eARC, and then we've got a 3.0, a 2.0. Power actually goes underneath, and then we've got 3.5 out, and we also have an optical. I was able to really test it out for a couple weeks. The performance has been phenomenal. Picture quality is great. It actually gets a little bit too bright. I've never had a projector be too bright, so when we watch it at night, we actually turn the brightness down. I've never had to do that before with a projector. I wanted to get a better idea of how big of a difference or an upgrade the new projector would be compared to my old one. And so what I've done is I've gone ahead and I've set them up side by side, or rather one on top of the other. And I wanted to overlay the videos so that I could get a better idea. And the difference is pretty drastic, which is to be expected. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the video at the same time and I'm gonna block them off to kind of just go back and forth, see the contrast. We'll get a good idea of how these projectors perform. This is not really like super bright, but it's still daytime. It's like 4-ish o'clock right now. I can already tell it's a huge difference, and I tried it just before and I was like, wow, this is incredible. Also, a huge thing I've noticed is the amount of heat that comes off of this unit right here. That's that versus nothing. Definitely a huge difference. I'm gonna hit play at the same time. 3, 2, 1. I mean, you can just see how clear that text is. I mean, let's block the XGIMI, right? But look at the difference in the whites. Let's go back to the before. And then the after. It's so different. Wow, look at this scene. It's so vibrant. I feel like I just went ahead in the future like 20 years. It's amazing how far technology progresses with projectors. Wow. Ooh. You get so much more contrast. Wow, that's so cool. I've been on the search for having a nice projector that can project onto the wall. I can play something visual, like a lo-fi thing, and just kind of like chill out in the background. We've actually used this a couple times now just to watch movies and watch Netflix here in this new sitting area that we have, and it's become such an awesome entertainment area. We've played board games here while we put some music on the background. I have my Apple TV connected to the XGIMI, and so we just use AirPlay to Sonos speaker, does its thing, super seamless. If you're looking for a new projector, and you just want one that will just like work, you can hold on to it, I'm really stoked about this one. I actually have friends asking to borrow this one already for like presentations and using it in their office. People just want to try it out because this thing is phenomenal. Also, the case that it comes in. Yeah, this case is so usable. I already showed it earlier. The fact that like it's so easy to transport the projector, you can't take that for granted. Overall, highly recommend. I haven't really run into any issues with it except for I had a weird issue with one of the HDMI ports. It wasn't displaying correctly. Also, this is a pre-production unit, so anything that you guys get will be totally different, but just reset the device and started working perfectly fine again. If I use this remote or I use their remote that's provided, which is really high quality, either way, I can control the Apple TV or just the regular interface. I kind of want to just like sit down and summarize my overall thoughts about the projector. I feel like it's hard to convey just like, why would you get this? And like, who is it for? And why, what makes it such a great product? So it has a feature called lens shift. It's basically the ability for it to move where the image is being projected. You have so much flexibility in terms of how you choose to position the image. And because the stand that it comes on can rotate, you can really choose to like, I can just pivot and it'll just, you know, the image can go there. And if I'm not quite happy with where it is or the sizing of it, I can zoom into it, I can shift it up or down, left or right, and it's super easy to do with the remote. The ability for the projector to auto keystone so quickly, like it happens in an instant. If you were to bump it and it rotates, it's so good that it'll just auto keystone automatically, and then all of a sudden the image is perfectly aligned. And that's such an underappreciated feature if you haven't used projectors before. Having set up my old one to do the comparison, I was like, oh my God, it's so limited depending on like what projectors used to be. And having the ability to just easily auto keystone the image on any surface is phenomenal. And I think that's been one of the biggest things that separates the decision of, do I want to get a TV or do I want to get a projector? It depends on like your space, right? Do you have the space for a projector? Do I have a blank wall in my home where I can utilize a projector? Am I trying to use it during the day? Am I trying to use it at night? Because if I want to use it the whole day, then I can't use a projector. Even as bright as the 20 Max gets at 15700 ISO lumens, it's still not really that usable during the day when you have all this ambient light. The time of day in which I can start using my projector has increased. And all of a sudden, the usability of this product really changes because realistically, I'm not watching TV during the day because I'm working. And yes, you might watch TV on the weekends, but for that, you can have a normal TV. And for special occasions, you can bust out the projector. Or you can just choose to only watch content at night, and that's totally fine. I think it's very doable, and I think that applies to a lot of people. I'm not saying that a projector is right for everyone, but I am saying for myself, having this new projector in this new living space has completely transformed how we use the space. Like now when friends come over, they just want to hang out in that space. And I think it's so exciting. So honestly, if you have the ability and the space to get into these, I highly recommend it. Especially right now, they're having like this early bird discount pre-order period. You get a couple $100 off the projector itself, and you get a stand, and you get, I think, like Assassin's Creed for free. Let me just say, all the projectors in the Horizon 20 series, you get 4K, you get 1 millisecond 1080p at 240 hertz response time, which is nuts. My monitor doesn't even have that. That's how good the projector is. You get the lens shift and optical zoom, and so your picture quality and how easy it is to set up is gonna be the same no matter which projector you get. The biggest difference will be just how bright each projector can actually get. And so if you get the 20 Max, then it gets 5700 ISO lumens. But if you get the regular Horizon 20, you still get 3200 ISO lumens, which is more than plenty for most people. It's incredible to see how far we've come with projectors and display technology. And it's so fun to be able to experience this at home and to share with people. One thing I gotta figure out though is I need to upgrade my sound system because we don't have like a robust surround sound system for watching movies. But also got to figure out how I do the cable management because right now I just have this cable running to the middle of that living room. Tripping hazard, I already tripped over it once. I need a way to make it look good and also secure the cable. So if you have a solution for how to secure a cable neatly into the middle of your living room, let me know. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun trying this out and testing it out. So thanks to XGIMI for providing this projector. Really appreciate you guys watching, and see you guys next time.